Good evening. You tuned into the old Zach and Luke radio show, the podcast.
Name pending.
Name pending. Patent pending.
For now.
Where I'm in contact with the old
FCC. The Franklin County Courier.
Yes, the NCAA, the National Championship
Association.
Yeah.
The BYOB.
Yeah.
Bring your own bangers. That means good songs.
Anyway,
we're probably gonna change the name.
Pointlessness aside.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? How you doing?
Good. Tired. Good. I'm drained from our last one. We just recorded another podcast before this one that was about 2 hours long, probably.
Right. And it's probably gonna go before this one anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what time is it now? It's
not bad.
It's not bad. I'm feeling it, you know?
Not horrible.
You're right. We're probably going to watch TV after this anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not because the remote's broken, so we probably won't be watching any TV.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll play a game with Twister.
Yeah, exactly. All right, hold on.
I think we should talk about Spider-Man posters.
Yeah, sure.
Since they've come up, and another Spider-Man thing that I forgot to mention earlier.
Okay.
Sony announced that they're doing a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so they're not going to be connected to the MCU or anything.
Which is so stupid. I heard the same thing about Venom.
Yeah, just
why?
Do it. It'd be so good.
Like, why not? Just have like a little thing. Like, even if it's like they introduce a character. Which, first of all, I'm not sure. Are they doing Eddie Brock for Venom?
I have no idea.
Or Flash Thompson?
Nothing's really been confirmed about it yet.
I'm sure. But like, if they have... Even if it's something simple as like they show a character whose name is Eddie Brock in Homecoming.
Yeah.
And like that's like the beginning of it, and then he stars in the Venom movie.
Yeah.
Like that's so easy to do, to tie it together. And that's all they really have to do right now. And then they can figure out the stuff after that.
Yeah. And I think it'll get really like confusing and kind of muddy.
Yeah.
Because I think when they do Infinity War, he's probably going to get the black suit there. They're going to be like, wait a minute. Why is Venom have the suit if Spider-Man has the suit over here? Like, it's a contract thing.
Right. No, I hear you.
Being a nerd is so tough. You have to explain so many things to people. It's
tough so hard, man.
It's tough being better and smarter.
A quick shout out to Noah, who's listened to all two. I don't know which ones he's listened to. I know that he listened to the Logan one.
Yep.
But he was like asking me all these questions about Old Man Logan afterwards. He was like, I didn't realize that the Hulk was this crazy hillbilly. And I was like, he sure is.
He is in the comic. It's real gross. It's like the other night, I kind of felt like a dickhead.
What?
Because I was at this open mic at school, and this guy was wearing a Crossbones t-shirt. I was like, oh, it's a really cool shirt. I like it. And he's like, yeah, man, it's I like it too. I was like, yeah, Crossbones was really cool in the movie. And he's like, yeah, I thought this was the Panther guy. And I was like, nah, man, that's a Crossbones shirt. And he's like, oh, well, does he play like a big part in the comics? And I was like, I mean, I get, sometimes.
In Civil War,
yeah,
he's a pretty big part.
I was like, he kills Cap at one point. I guess he's around. He's like, oh, yeah, I guess, that's cool, I guess. Yeah. And he kind of like looked down at the shirt and was just kind of,
You fucking ruined it for him.
I know.
You just crushed the whole shirt.
I was like, I'm sorry, man. I didn't. Oh, man. Should just let him have it.
Yeah.
Like, did I tell you about,
you know what? You're right. That is Black Panther.
Did I tell you about when Jeff, the librarian at his school, didn't, like, he thought I was someone else?
Yes. And you just let it go.
I just let it go. He was like, hey, Justin, you did a great job the other night. And I was like, thanks, man. I didn't have the heart to be like, who the hell's Justin? And, like, I think I know the kid he was talking about. So every time I see him, I'm like, I'm you.
We are one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Anyway,
whatever.
Let's move on.
You were going to talk about, the posters. The Spider-Man posters.
And I think they capture kind of his attitude really well.
Yeah. So the one that I sent you, which is the one of him laying down.
Yeah.
And in the background you see Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
I was like doing some more like research of it and like trying to like figure out what. So like he's wearing a jacket. It's like a yellow jacket.
It's the science department thing.
Whatever. Yeah. I was trying to see what it said on it. And for the life of me, I can't. I have no idea what that says.
It's like...
It ends in technology.
It's just his school. It's just the school emblem and everything like that.
All right. And then in the background, it shows Avengers Tower. And then there's that green tower right next to it. Okay?
The green tower right next to it.
I have it right here. There's like a green tower right there. literally like right in front of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know what that was. It looks huge,
Mhm.
and I was like,
I
"Is
think
that?"
it's like Oscorp.
That's what I thought it was supposed
Yeah.
to be. It's not. It's
No.
literally there
No, it's
in
just a real building.
actual New York City.
Yeah.
It's just there.
All right.
I thought it was supposed to be Oscorp because it kind of looked like it had like that like
That
fold
kinda,
in. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nope, nothing.
Nope, that's just a regular old place.
And that was it. And I was like,
Probably, I don't know, it's probably
Right.
some office building.
I mean, it was. I'm pretty sure it's apartments.
No one knows what happens in New York City.
That's
No one's
true.
ever there.
That's right. No one
Yeah.
has ever gone to New York City before.
It's a myth. Heard it here first.
Oh, but anyway, yeah. No, I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah.
I thought
I saw somebody
All of it
did a like Deadpool 2 poster, and
Okay.
it was that, but it was Deadpool pushing Spider-Man off into the water. So all you see is like his coattail and like his hand like flying up
Right.
in the air.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
I
well
was
done.
like, that's nice. There's
Yeah.
a lot of good Deadpool stuff coming out.
There is. I wonder if, because like you sent me that thing, I wonder if that's real. Have you heard anything else about it? That thing with Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard anything else about it? Or no.
No.
Yeah, because you sent me a thing of
Like
possible in quotation marks concept art
yeah.
for Deadpool 2, and it had Brad Pitt as Cable.
Which not totally sold on. There's one
No.
image that looks pretty solid,
Mm-hmm.
but it could. I don't know.
It very well could not be him.
Yeah.
Like it all is pretty up in the air anyway.
Yeah.
And there's so much speculation going on for who's going to be Cable that I wouldn't be surprised if it's just fan made.
Yeah.
honestly.
No, I know.
And
Props to
I mean-
that fan.
I mean, it's gone to the point where like there are so many so well done
Yeah.
fan things
Mhm.
that you're like, I have no idea if this is real or not.
Yeah.
And you know what? Who even cares?
Yeah.
It looks nice.
It all looks good.
I appreciate the fan.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. What was I
That
gonna
being
say?
said, make fan art of us.
Yes, please, anybody. So I saw like a Deadpool fan made film that I thought it was again really well done. It was like a
Right.
full, really nice cosplay,
Yeah.
and it was like Deadpool at the end of Logan,
Okay.
and it was like he went up to like Logan's grave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just like threw the sticks away and like
Yeah.
pulled out like a drawing and like put it on top or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't remember what else happened. I was like, this is kind of dumb at the time, but looking back, I'm like, that was nice.
Yeah. No. Like, I saw that too. It looks like it would have been real.
Yeah, because
Like-
even like the setting, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really
like
well done.
it looks like it was actually shot and
Mm.
done, and that's actually Ryan Reynolds going to
Yeah.
that grave, and it would have actually been like an extra credit scene at
Right.
the end
like,
of the movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if they already started on like the marketing for Deadpool 2
I
and they
wouldn't
just
be
start doing
surprised
stuff
either.
like that.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That I mean, with everything they did with the last marketing of like the Valentine's Day stuff,
That was great.
I wouldn't push it.
Like if they just kept the marketing going forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like for every movie, it's just Deadpool just like shitting on everything. Just being like, hey, this movie's gonna be bad. Don't forget
Yeah.
about mine in like 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we talked before. We talked with Sam and Steve about the Justice League trailer.
Right.
What parts did you personally like out of it?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Everything Aquaman.
Everything Aquaman. I'm
So
right there
good.
with you. I am right there with you.
Yeah.
It
Every-
is. It's fantastic.
Yep.
He is so incredibly cool.
Yeah. And it's just like I feel like Jason Momoa just shows up, puts on
Oh,
clothes, and then
dude.
just is himself in everything he does.
Yes. Well, I mean, not so much in like Game of Thrones, but like
Right. Yeah.
he's a little bit different in that one.
Let's
But
hope.
he is so. Yes, please.
Yeah.
But he is so. He's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before how
Mm.
much we love him, and we want to be sitting,
Jason?
whittling with him,
That was me
tapping.
tapping you with the bottle.
Here.
Just, that's for you, pal.
That was.
Yeah.
See a spike. Anyway, yeah. So it just looks very.
and-
He in particular looks great.
And I'm excited to see the relationship between Batman and Gordon.
Yeah.
I think that'll be interesting because he was like, it's nice to see you getting along with others again,
Right.
which is I guess a reference to like the original Bat family,
Right.
which I mean it makes sense.
I'm assuming that,
Yeah.
that's like the route they're headed. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
which is cool because he seems like a fun Gordon.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope there's some fun Batman.
I just
stuff.
want fun.
Fun Batman.
Please.
Give us a surfboard boogie Batman.
Speaking of, I mean, there's been like 100,000 rumors, obviously, of the old BFs
Who knows what he's doing?
peacing out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Me neither.
At this point, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
He's I mean, he just checked out of rehab recently,
That's true.
which good for him.
Yeah.
It was for alcoholism, right?
Mhm.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. He made a whole
good
long post about it on Facebook.
Yeah, I
Did
mean-
you read it?
I didn't read all of
It
it.
was pretty nice.
Yeah. I mean, good for him for
Yeah.
getting the help and knowing that he needs the help and everything. I feel like it's just been like he's had such a hard time
Man,
lately.
he should have just not made
That movie.
whatever day.
Live.
It's been a hard night. The Beatles song, "Live by Night."
Hard day night.
Yeah,
Hard days night. Days night.
because that did him more harm than good.
Yeah, it did.
He's like, "Hey, this is my passion project." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, Ben, fuck off."
All right, Batman.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a passion project. What is the Batmobile?
Show us your pecs. He's like, guys, I
What's
just
your
wanna wear-"
workout regime?
Like, I just want to be a gangster.
No,
Shut up.
You're not allowed to be a gangster, Batman.
Not allowed to wear silly hats.
Yeah. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but it's like that. I think we have with like the whole Ed Norton thing and how it's really similar to that whole thing and why Ed Norton didn't want to be the Hulk anymore,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
how, because he didn't want to be just known as the
Right.
Hulk.
But at this point, Ben Affleck will not be known as just the Hulk. He'll
No.
be known as the guy from Dogma. Obviously.
He'll be known as the friend in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
That's it.
He'll be known as the other Boston actor.
Other
God,
than
Ben, get over yourself.
Marky Mark,
That's true. And
who is already the other. He
Yeah.
is Marky Mark is already the other
yeah.
Boston actor.
Whereas the main one, we all know, Matty Matt.
Right. That's right. Yeah, I thought that was pretty sad. Pretty much what it boils down to is.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't, but I totally
Yeah.
understand if he does.
Yeah. Poor
Um,
Ben.
yeah.
Let's just get him on. Have a sit down
Get
with
him
him.
on here.
Ben, tell us your issues.
Ben, we're here to
Tell
help.
us your woes.
We're here to help.
We're like the Geek Squad.
All right. So I have a bit of a cough. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be bad.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be proud.
It's gonna be. Say it loud. Say it proud. There's a birthday in this crowd. So something. So today, this lovely evening, this nice Saturday evening one.
At 11:19.
We're gonna be talking a little bit about the
big-
old King Kong.
The monkey himself. Sorry, the great ape himself.
Yes, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Kong Skull Island.
Yep.
We saw it. We saw it with our good buddies Frank and my little brother Aiden.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Did you see that
who-
last weekend?
yeah, a week
Yeah.
ago today. We
Mhm.
saw it last Saturday. First initial thoughts. What do you think?
Good.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, a
I
lot better
thought
than
it
I
was-
thought it was going to be.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I mean, it looked good in the trailers and everything, but I was like a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, because I
was
kind of
like,
felt like monster movies are a little played out. Like,
Yeah.
you can only do so much, but they
Exactly.
took it in a different direction.
yeah, then
that was really
traditional.
Yeah, they didn't bring him to New York,
Exactly.
which was pretty cool.
They didn't do like the classic King Kong
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Like the King Kong isms.
Right.
Where like there's like a damsel in distress and he like needs to save her and it's like I mean
Oh.
there a little bit of it
Little
but
bit.
not nearly as much as like he's grabbing onto her, climbing up a building.
Right. This part, he's grabbing onto her, trying not to be swallowed whole.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But she or like that kind of thing is like it's different. It's a
Yeah.
different way of looking at King Kong. And I
Yeah.
liked it a lot.
Mhm.
I thought it was a really good one. So real quick, a brief because I don't want to go too far into it and with like spoiler stuff.
Yeah.
So they go. There's like all these people. There's a whole bunch of scientists, and they need to go to this island that they found. And Dr. Dre is talking to Sully from Monsters Inc., John Goodman, and they're like, all right, we need to go to this island because this island's so great, and
There's
John
stuff
Good
going on.
and there's stuff going on there, and nobody's ever been there before, and we don't know what's there. Maybe there's great oil, and this is like
Ooh.
right after the Vietnam War.
Right.
And John Goodman's like, all right, I'm going to assemble a team. And they go to the senator dude, and they're like, we need to go here. And the senator guy's like, all right, whatever. And he calls up Sam Jackson and his team of Eazy-E and a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
But the important one was Eazy-E.
Yeah.
There are more people in this movie from Straight Outta Compton than I ever would have imagined.
Yeah.
And I thought they were great.
They were.
I thought they did a great job.
They did.
You would not have known
not at all
that they also played this other character.
Yeah, no.
The guy who played Easy is actually a great actor.
Yeah,
I was
did a
like,
great job.
Yeah, I was like it is a completely different person.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean,
obviously, but
right.
like it's
different
like
time.
Oh yes, it's like 20 years earlier, but it was like it was just really, really well done. But anyway, so they all go to this island, and basically King Kong is there, but he's just known as Kong.
Yeah.
And he's there, and he's just protecting the island.
John C. Reilly.
Right.
John C. Reilly plays a World War II pilot who crash landed on this island in World War II and has survived with the locals. Mm-hmm. He's like, that's Kong. He's known as King around here. He's king around these parts. And you better not mess with him because he survived. You
better not mess with him.
Yeah, exactly. That was a solid John C. Reilly.
Dude, I thought so. I'm just sick, you know?
Yeah, obviously. So he, like, on the island, he's like a protector. Mm-hmm. He's like a watchful protector of the night. Mm-hmm. You know? The city deserves him.
Yes.
And all that.
Yeah.
And he
the island deserves him.
Right. He defends the people and everyone on the island, really, against these, like, lizard
things. There's these monster things that
what do you call them? Skull walkers?
Skull something.
Skull crawlers.
Maybe?
Something like that.
Skull.
I don't remember, but he said it out loud. He's
skull,
like,
bull, banana, fan, full.
That's it. But either way, he was like, now that I say it out loud, it sounds kind of dumb. And they're like, well, we kind of think it's fine. Like, that's. I mean, it's not that bad. And he's like, nah, it's stupid. You don't need to call him what you want. And they're like, I like Skullwalker. Yeah, it's all right. Sure.
I mean, don't go too far of like what they are, but like he's basically just protecting the island from anything that's bad that comes.
Right.
So the conflict ensues.
Right.
And really, it's just like a solid movie.
Yeah.
Like it's really good.
Yeah.
And there's some there are some hits that you feel like
they come out of nowhere, like right out of left field, just. And you're like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, I mean, there are some of them where obviously, King Kong is a giant CGI'd monster.
Yeah.
Obviously. But
fighting other giant CGI'd monsters.
Exactly. But the stuff that he does and his hits are like, they are solid.
Yeah.
They're not, and I said this during, it's not Planet of the Apes pretty.
No.
But it's close.
Yeah.
It looks really good. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look as good as that because I swear to God, that's just real. That's actually happening.
They just trained chimps.
Like, I swear to God, that's an actual chimp.
God, I can't wait for that movie.
But it looks really good regardless.
Yes, it does.
And like, I mean, it's just giant CGI monsters fighting other giant CGI monsters.
You can't complain.
And it's really well done.
Yeah.
It looks really pretty. Mm-hmm. And there are some serious hits that, I mean, it's like bone shattering.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man!
Yeah. You're like, nothing in this movie is safe.
No one is safe.
Anything can be considered anything.
Exactly.
You better watch your back.
Right. And that was another thing. It's like, obviously you kind of know, and there's only like one person, one thing that you're like, this person probably, or this thing, whatever this is probably not going to die.
Right. But
pretty much everyone else is fair game.
Yep.
Like, you're like, who knows?
Even the ants are dangerous.
But like anything else is fair game. Anything else can die at any moment.
Yep.
And you're like, damn.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Exactly. So,
So I'd say overall, I give that movie a solid 8.
yeah,
As monster movies go,
yes.
pretty solid. Better than Godzilla,
Yep.
I'd say.
There's more.
There's more monster.
There's more monster.
It's more thrilling, I'd say.
Right. The only thing for me is I felt like the beginning dragged on too long.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a part in the middle where it dragged on too long as well.
Yes.
And it was just like, okay, like I get it. I understand why this is happening. But you are not going into this movie like for the characters.
No.
You're just not. You're going in to see a giant monster hitting another giant monster. But I will say you do stay like
For the people.
a lot of the characters are pretty solid.
Yeah.
They're not like in Jurassic World, for example.
They're bad.
The characters are like overly cartoony versions of the way characters would actually be. People do not act the way that crazy general acts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you kind of understand where these characters are headed and why they act the way they do more so than you did in that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's just like
easily.
Like what are you doing?
What
is the point?
You're not going to use velociraptors as weapons. That's insane. Good luck training it.
Stupid.
I'm going Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was him.
Yeah, it's because he's not bald.
Yeah, exactly. It really throws me for a loop. And he doesn't look like he's 700 pounds.
I know.
Of just mass. Like not even like fat, just
big.
Bulk.
Just dense. Just skull crushing big.
Yes. Anyway, I think that's probably it for the spoiler free stuff. I think
let's get into the fun stuff.
Going kind of into it. When he hit that giant skull thing with the tree that he turned into like a baseball bat.
Oh man.
Oh my god. It was amazing. He like so he took this, Kong ripped out a tree. There was the giant version of those skull things that we talked about before.
So what they are, it's like a lizard but with 2 legs in the middle.
Right.
So it looks like a crocodile mixed with a snake, but it just walks on 2 legs in the center.
And it uses its tail for most of its like balance and hitting and whatever.
Yeah.
So
It
anyway,
looks like a trebuchet.
Right. One would say.
Yeah.
But so there's this part where there's like little ones that come up and it's just fucking up all of the people. Yeah. Like everyone is just getting
People are just getting eaten.
Yeah, it's bad news. And he comes up, or the big one comes up, and this one is the one that's like the bad mamma jamma.
Yeah.
That all of the people are like, there's this big one. If anything ever happens to Kong, this guy's coming up. And so he comes up and whatever. And so Kong grabs a giant tree and it's coming at him, and he rips off the branches and just straight up baseball bats him right in the face. And it's just like this slow-mo, it hits, and you feel it connect.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, that was perfect. That was perfect. That was so incredibly well done. Kong. We were talking about this with Steven before. I felt like the action in this was significantly better than the action in Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah, easily.
I mean, I had a lot of fun with Power Rangers. Yeah. We talked about that before, but it was like just hands down significantly better action.
Yeah, because Power Rangers had explosions and action.
Right.
Not necessarily at the same time.
Right.
Whereas Kong had a lot of fire, a lot of explosions and actions happening at the same time, a lot of someone getting backhanded and then exploding, which is...
That was the best. I don't know if that was the best part, but that was quite possibly the funniest part for me.
There's this one soldier who just wants to like go balls to the wall and go out with a bang.
Well, like throughout the entire movie, there's this one guy who's like talking to Eazy-E, and he's like talking about how he. I mean, there was the part where at the very beginning they fly in with the helicopters, and Kong literally just knocks him out of the sky.
Yeah, he
just straight up punches the helicopters out of the sky.
Like a third of the people that showed up survived.
Exactly. And the guy, like, Easy's like, oh my god, that was a giant monkey. What is that? And the other guy's like, yeah, that is quite unpredictable. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah. He's just really cool about it.
He's just like super chill. He's like, whatever. Like, what are you going to do? But that guy at the very end, he like tries to go out and like save all of his friends, and he
He's
goes
holding
up
2 grenades.
and he has an entire like Girl Scout sash
Yeah.
of grenades on him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
he stands there and he's like getting ready for that giant one to come over and eat him, so that it will eat him
Yeah.
and he will explode inside of them. And so it comes over and it looks like it's about to eat him. It's like super dramatic, super
Yeah.
slow-mo. And then it just turns and whacks him with his tail, and he just goes soaring through the sky.
He flies for like a mile, hits a wall, hits like the wall of a cliff.
Yeah, it just explodes. Like, it just straight up blows up. And I could not control myself. I was laughing so hard. And both you and Frank were like, oh my god, like, this is so sad.
Yeah.
I'm like hysterically laughing. Like, that guy just straight up blew up. He hit the wall and just exploded. But anyway, so so they go in. Kong is like, hey, get out of here, because they start dropping bombs on the island, trying, in quotations, that's I'm doing old bunny ears here, trying to do a geo scope of the
look at the
planet,
seismic waves, whatever
the hell. And Dr. Dre is trying to like read this thing, and it just looks like a
generic science graph.
Yeah, it literally looks like the Death Star trench run.
Yeah.
Like on like a monitor.
Yeah, it does.
For like an old school like Atari whatever.
And other 80s references.
Yeah, I can't think of any more.
70s. I meant 70s.
It's okay. It's okay.
Either way, go on.
I mean, I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm trying to help you out.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, I'll just move past it.
Yep. Don't even think about it.
So he's like looking at this thing and he's like, oh wow, you'll never believe it, it's hollow. And everyone's like, Dr. Dre, fix your voice.
Dr. Dre, you sound like Mickey Mouse.
oh boy, it's hollow in there. And he like radios into John Goodman. He's like, John Goodman, you'll never believe it, it's hollow. And he's like, whoa. And then they turn around and King Kong is right there, and he's like, the fuck you doing?
You mean it's hollow? Who knew?
And he just turns and he goes, get out of here. And he punches, like just punches a... No. The first one, he throws a tree like a jab.
That's right.
He throws it like a javelin. It just goes straight through a helicopter. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh, man.
Which was great.
I think
it was awesome.
My favorite moments were when Doctor Doom... So Doctor Doom from Fanforstic is in this movie.
Oh, yes.
He's alone 90% of the movie. He's just trying to survive.
Right.
And like,
because he's with a whole bunch of other... He's in a different helicopter.
Yeah.
He's like a captain or something, and he gets knocked down, and everybody else in the helicopter dies except for him.
Yeah, and he's just trying to find his way to wherever. And so at one point, he's like trying to get some water. He's like trying to clean himself off. And then Kong just like walks into this little bay area because he's like trying to bathe in a lake. Oh, yeah,
that's right.
He's like trying to bathe in a lake, and then Kong walks over and just like plops himself down and like cleans off a little like... Yeah, he has like a cut on his arm from the
helicopter blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's like hiding behind a log or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kong like reaches down and like pulls out a full octopus, like this giant kraken. And he just starts eating it, like, and he eats...
Well, it tries to grab him.
Yeah, it tries to, like, attack him, and then he's like, no, and then eats it.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And so later on in the movie, he's, like, walking through the woods.
Yeah, it's like this weird bamboo forest.
Yeah, and he sits down on a log. And then out of nowhere, this log is a monster.
Yeah.
It stands up on 4 feet, and it looks at him, and he like turns around and he shoots it with his gun, and it just kind of goes, stop.
Yeah.
Ow. And then walks away, just kind of ambles away, like, God, why?
That was one of the times that Aiden got so incredibly scared that he just like shot out of his seat. Yeah. No, and it was like this little log. It was a relatively like jump scare.
It was,
part.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally reasonable that it happened to him, but it was just like he jumped up. He was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. All right, calm down.
But
that just goes to show that nothing in the movie is safe.
Exactly.
For example, There's another team of soldiers.
Right.
They're walking through a bamboo forest, so they're surrounded by these giant, tall, thin stalks.
Oh, yeah!
And then one of them comes from the sky and impales some guy from the top, and it turns out it's like a giant daddy long legs.
Yeah.
Like,
that thing was gross.
It was gross,
man. That thing was terrible.
It was like shooting down these little, like... They weren't like arms, but they were just like sticky little, like the alien, like the thing in the alien's mouth, the xenomorph mouth.
Yeah,
it was like,
I know.
It like came down, like grabbed him, and like it like spit on him.
Yeah, and that's when he grabbed Easy. He grabbed Easy. He was like pulling him up.
Yeah,
and they just kept shooting him and like cutting off the parts with like machetes and stuff.
Yeah.
They cut off his legs, and he just straight up fell on the ground, just smashed and died.
Yeah. And like, that's probably the most realistic thing, because what do you do when you find a daddy long leg? Just rip their legs off.
Rip off its legs. Everybody just grab it like a pole.
Yeah.
But,
just run in different directions. It'll fall over.
Yeah, but I thought that one was the worst one.
Yeah.
That monster was the worst one.
That was super
Even
gross.
worse than like the giant lizard thing with the crazy skull stuff. Like,
the best one, easily, was the big buffalo.
Yes. There was like 4 of those.
Yeah, it was like this big, like it looked like an island at first, but then
it just got up and moved. It was like, get the fuck out of my way.
And they're like, neat. It's a big old buffalo thing.
Yeah. So here's something that we didn't really say before. There was not nearly enough monsters in this movie. At all.
So?
I felt like they should have shown more.
Really?
Like there was, I mean, think about it. They had that huge daddy long legs one.
Okay.
They had the squid.
Squid.
They had, which is just whatever, just was a giant squid. It wasn't really anything crazy.
Yeah,
that giant water buffalo.
Okay.
The skull things.
Okay.
There was one more.
The log.
The log.
They didn't show them, but the ants.
They talked about the ants. That's
the ants.
6.
The ants.
Oh, and the pterodactyls.
7.
Yeah. That's 7 things on this island that's supposed to be full of monsters.
Ecosystem of monsters.
Yeah, like I feel like they just should have just shown, even if they were just more passive ones, because the only passive one was the buffalo.
Right.
That was it. That was the only one that was like not there to murder everyone.
So the ants, PG-13 movies, you get one F word.
Yeah.
You can only say it once.
Yeah, and it will still be a PG-13 movie.
Yeah. And so, in this movie, you think, it's going to go to Samuel L. Jackson.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, because that's his thing.
Right.
So, there's one scene where, like, John C. Reilly and
Dr. Dre
and Brie Larson.
No, I think it was the other scientist lady.
Right, the other scientist lady. So, they were just, like, kind of camping out, waiting for Tom Hiddleston to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And they hear, like, these bird noises.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are they, birds? And he's like, no, they're ants. You know, you think they're just birds, but they're fucking ants. And he's just really, like, upset about it.
Yeah, and he's just like...
Because they're just giant.
They're horrible. And But, like, you never saw it, which I was pretty bummed about.
Yeah, they're just giant ants, apparently. They come down from the trees and just, like, ruin everything.
Yeah, like,
and you can tell by the way he says it, he's just like, God, they're just fucking ants, man. God, they're awful.
Oh, man. I really wanted to see those. But, I mean, whatever. It's not the end of the world.
I hope that they're just like the ants from the movie Ants.
Me too.
Yeah. Right.
Or the movie The Ant Bully.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Because they wanted to kill him.
They did. I never saw it.
I didn't see it.
The only thing that I know about that movie is that when I was a little kid, I had like a Burger King thing. Wherever it was my birthday, they'd send me like a little care package.
Okay.
And it came with like a little magazine of Ant Bully themed games.
All right.
And that's about it. And I got like a free Burger King meal, I guess. But that was back when they had those fries that had the cheese powder they could shake up. And they were
I know those.
dank.
Yeah, they were.
They're so good.
They were so good. It was like having the Kraft macaroni and cheese packets.
But you just like snort the powder and then eat a French fry. Man, they were so good. They had them for like 1 year.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, though. All right, so just kind of move it along a little bit.
Motives.
Oh, right. Yeah. So Sam Jackson. I want to talk about him first.
Yeah.
If that's all right with you.
Yeah.
He is like this general guy, and he like doesn't. They just finished the Vietnam War. Like it literally just ended, and he didn't want it to be done because he's a military man.
You know how it is.
And he was like, I didn't die in the act of duty. I don't want to die. My time isn't up. Whatever.
Right.
I do want to die.
Yeah.
I don't want to go home. My
Right.
time isn't up. And so he is like, yes, I will bring all of my men who I just told we were going to go home to this island and whatever. And so he brought them all there. They flew him in, and then everything just got completely destroyed by Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sam Jackson just kind of looked at him, and he was like, I'm going to murder that guy.
I'm going to kill that guy.
And then
he looks at Kong as like a threat to humanity.
Exactly.
When he's been there who knows how long,
right,
not being a threat to humanity.
Exactly.
But he's like, I hate you.
Right. And so basically the entire movie is Sam Jackson trying to find out a way to get to where you said Dr. Doom was.
Right.
And because that's where a whole bunch of like napalm and a whole bunch of other stuff was. And so they were like, all right, fine. We're going to go to that place and find Dr. Doom. And then we're going to get all the napalm stuff and whatever. And Sam Jackson's like, all right, we're going to kill Kong. Yep. That's his thought in his mind, but he's not saying that. He's just like, no, we need to go and save that captain guy.
Right. But he's really like, I want to kill him.
Right, exactly.
I want to kill him dead.
And so they go. They finally get towards there. They fight one of... So, we didn't say this before, but Dr. Doom dies. He gets eaten by a smaller version of the giant skull things. And later on, the rest of them are fighting that same guy, and we didn't mention this part either, but that's fine. But they're fighting the same guy, and he throws up Dr. Doom.
Oh, that's right.
It just throws, like, it's just, it's disgusting.
It's his skull and his dog tags.
And you see his dog tags and whatever, and you see that it's him, and you're like, oh no, he's dead. And they're all like, Yuck. He's dead. And then Sam Jackson's like, no, we're still going. And they're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, we're still going because we're going to kill him. And they're like, that's such a stupid fucking idea. That's so dumb. And he's like, no. And then they go.
Yeah.
And then everybody except for Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Dr. Dre, that girl, the other scientist girl, and John C. Reilly go. And then Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson have a very intimate moment with King Kong on the top of a mountain.
That was weird.
And then they go back down this cliff, and then they go over to John C. Reilly. They're like,
he's a nice guy.
We're going to go save Kong. And he's like, you better believe we are. He takes out that sword, and he goes, and he uses that sword for good. Mm-hmm. Like when he fights those pterodactyl things.
Pretty sweet.
Just slices through them. It's great.
Yep. With the gas mask on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, man. That part was awesome,
That's
too.
Pretty sweet.
Anyway. So he's going, and they go and they try to stop Samuel Jackson, and they're like, you need to stop. And he's like, no. And then
he tries to blow up Kong at one point.
Yeah. And so he's like, they're like, you need to stop. And he's like, I'm not gonna. And then they're like, but you need to, because he's not a bad dude. Yeah. He's just trying to save everyone. And Sam Jackson's like, fuck off.
He killed so many people. Did you not see that? And they're like, yes, he did, but
it was because of you, idiot.
Yeah, dummy.
And so Sam Jackson's like, well, I'm still going to do it. And then he sets the whole lake on fire and with napalm. And then King Kong goes through it. He just gets set on fire. He's like, oh. And then he falls over.
It's just like Shrek 2.
It's exactly like Shrek 2.
Yeah.
It's just like when the giant gingerbread man falls in. He says, be good.
Brie Larson is there.
I remember that part where Tom Hiddleston rode on King Kong's shoulder just like Shrek did on the giant gingerbread man. Anyway, so he's just like, he's falling on the ground, and then because King Kong is down, that giant lizard thing is like, I'm coming, motherfuckers.
It's
and
my
he comes
time.
up, and he breaks through the ground. He just murders 50 of them.
Yeah.
And then Sam Jackson's like, I'm gonna kill everybody because he has an explosive. He's still gonna kill Kong, even though Kong is still the only thing that can clearly destroy this other thing.
He's blinded by rage.
He is. And so he's about to blow him up, and Kong just punches him straight down. Just straight up. He wakes up, he looks at him, scowls at him, and then just punches him into the dirt, and you're like, good.
It's about time.
That was good.
He deserves that. Yeah.
So anyway, so then they all kind of work with Kong to destroy this other thing
Right.
because
Which
they're
is pretty
like,
sweet.
this is bad news.
Yeah.
And so they're all running. That guy with the grenade thing happened.
Yep.
Then Kong is fighting this guy, and they're just throwing each other into mountainsides. They're
And
just
Kong ends up like he grabs a chain. At the end of this
Oh,
chain is
yeah.
the propeller to a boat that had like sunk
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he just like whips it around at this thing. It's just destroying it. He
God.
like takes it and he tries choking it out with a chain like Ghost
Mhm.
Rider style.
That part was
Man,
great too.
That was cool.
And he like whips it around, and it like goes into like his side.
Yeah.
And he like uses it to like throw him on the ground. He just starts like wailing on him, and then that guy, that like big lizard thing, gets up and like smashes a rocky hillside, and Brie Larson is standing on the top of it, and she falls
Right.
backwards. And so this is the part where you were saying like
Yeah,
this is like the
she-
damsel in distress part.
Right. She falls in the water and Kong comes up, scoops her up, and he has her in his fist.
Yeah.
And this big lizard thing is still attacking. And at one
Mhm.
point, like, swallows his fist. So she is
It's like up to like his shoulder. Like
Yeah.
it.
So she is
Solid.
in Kong's hand in this thing's stomach, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
And I don't remember how.
The thing is wrapped its tongue around his arm to
Right.
try to pull his hand in,
Right.
and so Kong just
Yes!
you could say what it is if you want
So
to.
his tongue is wrapped around his arm, and Kong ends up pulling out his tongue and all of his insides. It's like when you pull like a lobster apart and all of its insides come out.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened. But it was through its mouth.
Oh my god, it was so great. He just straight up just ripped it out of him. He just like ripped out his entire like his esophagus and
It's like
everything.
pulling a weed and you
Yeah.
get all the roots.
Oh yeah, it was very satisfying.
Oh my god.
And then he took the tongue off or whatever, set Brie Larson down. He was like, "They're there," and then he ran off or whatever,
Get outta here,
took care of
scamp.
himself. Yeah. The thing that I said that we didn't mention before was Brie Larson's face, because
How very energetic it was.
every single time it was zoomed in closer to her face, she was like making like the most like exaggerated expressions of like gigantic eyes, and like, whoa!
What is this big ape? Ooh!
And it was like the most like over the top thing
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought she was totally fine. I
Yeah.
thought she did a great job in it, whatever. But it was just like the most.
It was like Buddy the Elf, essentially.
It really was, and it was like so much so that like you noticed it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't typically notice that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
but I was like, okay, this is a bit much.
All right, calm down, Bree.
You got chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, I thought she was totally fine.
Yeah.
I
they were all
thought Tom
pretty good.
Hiddleston did a pretty
He
good
was
job.
pretty cool. I was worried about him, but he was pretty good. I
I
liked him
agree.
a lot.
I agree. Boy, that is one handsome dude.
Yeah.
He's cute.
I understand it, Tumblr. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's like, I thought that he was totally fine.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
That part where he's running through with the gas mask on and the
It was
sword.
a cool scene.
It was a really cool scene. It was
Yeah.
unnecessary. There
Oh,
was
yeah,
absolutely 0 point to that.
I just wish he had landed a harder hit on one of those things, because
Yeah.
it was like these little mini pterodactyls that were flying through.
Right. And
and
like
he
trying
never-
to like eat him.
Yeah, and he had a
basically.
sword and a gas mask on,
Mhm.
and he was running through all this gas and
Yeah,
all these
poison
things.
gas stuff.
And he never like cut one right down the middle. It was
Right.
always like he
To
like
the side.
clipped it or just like got its wing, and I was
Right.
like, man, I just want one straight down.
And like the camera's like right in front
Yeah,
of you
exactly.
too. Yeah.
That's
and you
what I
like see it,
want.
it goes like straight down.
Yeah, and you see
That'd be great.
him in like the back end of it and just
Yeah.
like slicing through
And
it.
it like goes like around his
Yes, I was just gonna say
head.
that.
Oh man.
That'd be cool.
That would have been great. But honestly, other than a few pacing things,
Yeah,
I thought it was really good.
it was really good.
I
I,
thought
enjoyed
that-
it a lot.
Significantly better than any other King Kong we've ever had.
Yeah,
Where like it wasn't like super. It wasn't even like super like draining to watch it. You know what I mean? Like I was worried that it was going to be like ridiculously. Either it was going to be way too dramatic and way too stressful, where
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, I need a nap.
yeah,
Sort of like how Man of Steel is the best Superman movie, but you feel like you can only,
watch it once every 2 years.
if that,
Yeah.
2 years is given a bit of some.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say 2 years
all right.
because I couldn't think of the word that I wanted to use, so I'm
Sure.
going to rephrase it.
Leeway.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Gotcha.
Leland. The
All right.
I know people with that name.
Okay.
But anyway, so he King Kong, I thought it was easily the best movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It was way better than I expected, in all honesty.
Yep.
I mean, obviously the trailers had looked good, but we haven't really had a very good King Kong movie.
I
Is
know.
really what it boils down
Yeah.
to. So
Um,
it was just it really exceeded my expectations,
Right.
if you will.
and I like how they're tying it into Godzilla and
Yeah.
everything. So
There's an after
at one
credits scene.
point, not only the after credit scene, but John
credits?
Goodman was talking
Oh,
about how when
yeah.
he was on a ship
Shit.
and there was a monster that ran on pure rage that attacked his ship.
Yeah,
and there
yeah,
are
yeah.
pictures of it all scratched to hell.
Yeah.
It's a reference to Godzilla just destroying the ship.
So the reason that John Goodman wanted to go to the island
Was
in
to
the
see
first
what's
place
there.
because he thought that the thing that attacked his ship, which was Godzilla,
Right.
because he was like it was some sea creature. I guess you are just kind of assuming it was Godzilla,
Right.
but it was most definitely Godzilla.
Yeah.
Was like it attacked him
Yeah.
way back when.
So the
Yeah.
after credits scene was Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson being sat down in this secret, like, government room, whatever.
Whatever.
And then Dr. Dre comes in. He's like, "Welcome to whatever it's called."
Right, I don't remember.
It had some name.
Yeah.
And they like showed them a slideshow of all these cave paintings of like Godzilla and Mothra and whatever that three-headed dragon is called.
The other one.
I don't remember. All I remember
The
is that
ugly one.
there was this one game that I played one time, and it was like a Godzilla fighting game.
Okay.
And you could play as any Godzilla
Was it like
monster.
like you choose your character like Mortal Kombat style?
Kind of, but you
Cool.
have the entire city to fight.
Yeah.
And you get to destroy the entire city and
I know
fight
what
each
you're talking
other.
about.
And
Yeah.
I liked playing as that three-headed dragon, whatever its name is.
Cool.
It was pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet.
So I'm excited to see it destroy a city.
Exactly.
Along with Mothra.
You better believe
But
it.
what I didn't like was that, like, it was a really well done moth on
Yeah.
a cave wall.
Yeah.
Like, it just looked like a nice.
It's a load of malarkey.
Yeah, and like, I feel like Mothra is not gonna look like a regular moth.
Exactly.
Because like Godzilla does not look like a regular iguana,
Right.
and a three-headed dragon doesn't look like anything regular.
Exactly.
And King
I know what
Kong
you mean.
doesn't really look like a regular gorilla. He
No.
definitely had that tiny little head, and like his build wasn't super gorilla-esque.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, he had longer legs,
Mm.
and yeah, that's real. I don't know the anatomy of a gorilla.
Right.
Off,
I know what you
like
mean,
the back
though.
of my hand,
Right.
but I can assume it's not like that.
Not giant.
Right.
That's really what it
I've
boils down
seen
to.
Jeff Corwin, and I know that they didn't look like that on his show.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you give this movie
I'd give this
out of
I was gonna go to Ooks.
Ooks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd give it let's see. Solid 4.7 out of 5 Ooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's almost 8.
Almost 8.
Yeah. Math.
Doesn't matter.
Almost 9.
Yeah.
Over 9. Almost 10.
Wow.
That's almost 10.
I mean, yeah, if it's 4.7 out of 5, it would be close.
Who the hell knows?
It's late.
I'm going to give it a 47 out of 50 Ooks.
Huh.
It's the same.
That's the exact same.
Joke's on you.
I'm the idiot.
A 9.4 out of 10 Ooks.
You're being a real scumbag right now.
Which is, the same thing. I am done.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing, real quick, there was one more thing. I wanted to talk to you about that comic that I read.
Right.
Remember?
Hit me with it.
So this is going to be a new thing that I want to try to do, but we will probably do it once and then forget.
Restart.
We're going to be, one of us is going to read a comic and or watch something that has to do with whatever we're talking about. So for example, I read the comics, more than one, there was like 12 issues online, called Kong of Skull Island. I'm like 99% sure it's a prequel to the movie.
Gotcha.
Because why else would it exist?
Why not?
There's literally no other reason for it to exist. So yeah, so I don't know what this whole segment is going to be called.
We'll
I don't
figure it
have
out.
any idea. We'll figure it out in the future.
Yeah. We don't even know what our show's going to be called.
That's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
I feel like the segment would be way easier than the show. Anyway, so it's called Kong of Skull Island.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, there's these indigenous people,
Sure.
and they live in the South Pacific. And they have like this civilization is like it's older, as in like
The
it's
40s?
not super modern,
Gotcha.
obviously, because they don't have like the same type of like
So like no
civilization.
like no Uber.
Exactly, no Uber, no Lyft even,
Oh,
which is like the discount Uber.
they're still like 5 years away from a solid grinder app.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Man, that's too bad.
Or really an app in general.
Any app.
Any sort of phone.
They're on the cusp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they are sort of good with science type things because they have a really good understanding of genetics because
Okay.
they're able to breed apes into something bigger
Bigger apes.
and stronger that they use to protect
Are
themselves.
they also faster and
Harder and better and faster and stronger.
Okay.
Which is something that they call Kongs.
Gotcha.
So they have more than one. There's like
Ooh,
hundreds of them,
right.
and they use them to protect them.
Oh, that's
So like
cool.
if like something comes and they attack them, they just send their Kongs out and they go out and attack them and kill them all.
That's sweet.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they have the Kongs battle. Don't.
I didn't. I moved away.
Oh, okay. They have the Kongs fight one another to like a battle to the death, and whoever loses is sacrificed.
Gotcha.
So they like sacrifice it to like whatever their
So they can
the
have
god
bigger
is.
ones. Yeah.
So it's basically it's evolution.
Yeah.
It's survival of the fittest type of
Yeah.
thing. Just like a very obvious version of that.
Mm.
But anyway,
quicker.
so they sacrifice it to their giant volcano that they call the Great Mouth.
Cool.
So the first or like midway through the first issue, the Great Mouth is having some issues, and it's like sort of like bubbling up, and you're like, ooh, like what's gonna happen?
Wow.
And they're like, we think we've angered the gods. We need to leave. And they were like, oh, well, what are we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna get out of here?
Yeah.
And so they were like, all right, let's explore. And say sent like this like group of explorers, like Moana style, like
Yeah.
taking off, and they like traveled to Lin-Manuel Miranda, and they started going towards.
I thought you meant like they travel to him, like he'll be
Yes.
at the mouth of the volcano.
No, they just they were just looking for an
Yeah.
island. They had heard of this fabled Skull Island is the name of the island,
Gotcha.
but they had nobody could ever find it. It was just like a myth. They came across it and they were like, "Whoa, was this Skull Island?" And they were like, "Ah, this will be the answer to all of our problems."
Fairy World? Dairy World.
Ah, darn it. But they were like, "This is the answer to all of our problems." And it turns out, no, that's not what happens. They immediately get fucking swarmed by a bunch of gigantic pterodactyls that come
Ooh.
in and just destroy their boats and like knock them into the water. And
Yeah.
like they brought like a bunch of Kongs with them as well to fight whatever
Naturally.
they come into.
That makes sense.
I mean, they're like basically like giant, oversized bodyguards. Is essentially what they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And so they come and they're like, okay, they're on this boat, and like a whole bunch of them get like knocked into the water. They're like, oh, we're good. We can just swim. And huge sea monsters come up and just eat them whole,
Oh
and
my
they just
God.
swim around, just keep eating them. Like they're so big, they eat Kongs whole.
Yeah.
And so they're like, shit, what are we gonna do?
Now?
And so not a lot of them make it. Basically, is
I
what
can
it boils
imagine.
down to.
Yeah.
And so it's like a good, probably it's a good handful of them that make it into the end. So they make it. They only have a handful of Kongs, and they use the Kongs to fight a bunch of dinosaurs and try to claim the island for themselves.
Cool.
So the rest of the series is basically
Them
just
fighting.
fighting dinosaurs over and over and over again.
Cool.
So it's just they're just making this huge, gigantic mess.
Yeah.
And it's madness. But my prediction is that what it's going to be is they're going to be the civilization in the movie.
Yeah.
So what happens is there are more than one civilization that's working together
Okay.
at this island. So they went together because they're like, we're both going to die from this giant volcano.
Yep.
Let's work together. And so they went and so I think that they're going to merge into one civilization,
And then that'll be
and then that's going to be that place.
cool.
And I think that there's only going to be one Kong left, and he is going to be the
Kong.
King Kong.
Yeah.
Or I think that they're going to have two Kongs left,
Mhm.
who's going to be his parents.
Yep.
And then he's going to be a baby because in the movie
They were like, he's not fully grown.
He's not fully grown yet. So I
Gotcha.
think that that's going to be the that. And I think that, but I'm not entirely sure of this, but I think that like either he or his parents are going to fight that giant skull thing,
Yeah.
and they're going to like knock him down into the earth.
Cool.
So that's kind of my prediction of it all.
All this makes me think that we should watch the original, like the first King Kong.
Like 1920s.
Yeah.
So
Like
I don't
good
think it
stuff.
is actually 1920s.
I don't know.
It might be. It's bad. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's really bad.
Is it?
I've actually seen it before.
Oh man.
Matt used to have it DVD maybe.
Oh.
It was like it's just atrocious,
Yeah.
and it looks. It's you know how remember in the Lego Movie where they have like that piece of like the top of President Business's tower.
Yeah.
It goes.
Yeah.
It just like takes off, and they like pick it up and they move it over.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like, but not as a joke. It's horrible.
Man.
They have like planes
I
flying
gotta
around,
watch it. Yeah.
but it's just like
On a string.
on like a
clearly.
string, and it's like bobbing around,
Yeah.
going towards them. Like, oh, here it comes. It's like pew 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 pew. It looks like it should be a joke, but
Yeah.
anyway.
We digress.
So I don't know if. What do you think? What do you think of? Would you read that
Yes.
comic?
Yes.
Don't.
Oh.
It's really boring.
Oh. Man, you made it sound so cool. God damn.
Yeah. No, it's not fun at all.
Ah!
It's
That sucks.
they focus way too much on this like these like two people, and they're just ridiculously boring, and
Alright.
you just don't care about them. I mean, maybe it was just me. Maybe you can give it a shot.
Could
I don't
be.
know. There's a website that I found online that you can just read a whole bunch of
Oh,
comics
really?
for free. For like you can just read full comics for free. I
Oh,
found the
that's
Killing
dope.
Joke on there.
Cool.
I found. I mean, every single one of these were on
Yeah.
there. I saw a whole bunch of like Power Rangers ones. I was gonna talk about those, but
That's
they
sweet.
weren't. They weren't awful.
Yeah, send
so
me
I
a
didn't
link
want
to
to. Yeah, it's I I literally just typed in "read comics online," and it was the very first link, and it works.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty tough stuff. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for today.
Yeah, that wraps it
What do
up
you
for
think?
our podcast marathon.
We are the Zach and Luke Radio Show. That's us. You can find us on just about every single thing.
Yep.
Uh,
Type it in, it'll be there.
yes. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, which we're going to be using a lot more because I found out
we figured it out.
that you can have more than one account on the Twitter app, which is nice. So I will have my personal account and my
Business account now.
business. Yes. If you have any sort of
Query.
query, you can send us an email at zachandlukeradio@gmail.com.
That's it.
Yeah, I believe so. We have a Gmail.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's how we have a Twitter and a Facebook and
okay.
everything because
That
we
makes
needed
sense.
it to log
All right.
on. I made it a long time ago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So if you have any sort of questions for us, maybe even anyone,
Hit us.
go ahead.
Punch us.
Tweet. Yeah. Punch me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Say,
Is there
hey
anything else I
guys,
forgot?
What's up? Not that I know of.
Okay.
If you have suggestions for
Yeah.
a new name, hit us up. Hit us with
Yeah.
that because we're looking for something new,
Exactly.
something fresh, something hip and young.
You better believe it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's just about
I
it.
think that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Say
Good night, Babs.
yeah.